So I get all kinds of weird shit.
Welcome to the source.
4 o'clock, that means the deadline's hit.
The source.
What we need is torrential rain tonight. Torrential.
Hey, get the source.
Yo, what's up, guys? Happy Tuesday to everyone. Not a ton of action on tonight, as I'm sure you know. Yeah, we got 2 games to get through. There are some college basketball games. We're not even going to go through them, though. We're actually doing I'm taking the staff out and their families for $100,000 for dinner tonight. So, we'll just a short little 2 college football show, some action. Andy, did you have any college basketball bets?
I have one, and Scoop has one, so we can give them out at the end if you want.
All right, so we got Bowling Green at Central Michigan, and this is the one I actually bet. This is what I'm talking about. I need torrential rain. I want hurricane winds. I want Jumanji type rain here. Monsoon. I'm on Central Michigan plus 14. And let me be very clear about this if you're considering betting this game. Bowling Green is significantly better than Central Michigan. It's not even close. I mean, they should win by more than 2 touchdowns. There's a couple facts. Well, first of all, Central Michigan's down to their 3rd string quarterback, and they don't have any passing attack whatsoever with Tyler Jefferson playing quarterback. So, I mean, the line makes sense. Bowling Green should be laying 2 touchdowns here to Central Michigan. The reason I made a play on Central Michigan is the conditions. First of all, Central Michigan, weirdly good at home, 7-2 in their last 9 home games, I think it's 7-2, and they're 1-10 in their last 11 on the road. I think it was like significant home away splits. This team just plays much better at home. That's number 1. Number 2, the weather for this game is crazy. It's not like, oh, it's supposed to rain a little bit. It's supposed to be nasty. 99% precipitation, 13, 14 mile an hour winds. The reason that's beneficial to Central Michigan, they're an offense that wants to run the ball. Bowling Green, obviously, they're capable of running it too, but that offense revolves around the passing attack with Connor Bazelak. So the nastier the weather, the more Bowling Green is forced to run the ball, the more it evens the competition here, because Central Michigan, as bad of a football team as they are this year, they can run the ball. That is their strength. They have a run game. So if this weather is disgusting and we're forced into a run game versus run game, kind of take the passing attack out of it, there's no way it should be 14. Now that I need bad. I need it to be disgusting. I need to not even see through the camera lens. Like, when it's like fogged up and there's drops on it. I need that. I want it to be disgusting, this weather. The nastier the weather, the higher my chances are of hitting this bet. I did place it, and look, if you're new to college football this year, one, you probably learned that this is a struggle, at least for me this season. Holy shit. But number 2, these action games, these midweek group of 5 games, they're insane. They're very highly unpredictable. So if you are going to tail this, bet responsibly. This is more, let's have some fun, bet them action. Usually these games are crazy. Like games with like 2 bad offenses, and somehow the score will be 59-57, like crazy shit. So yeah, let's have some fun. I'm taking the plus 14. I'm hoping for disgusting weather here.
Yeah, I'm a Kyle. I'm on Central Michigan here, too. First of all, like Kyle said, it's going to be really bad weather. 99% chance of rain, and not only the rain, it's 16-mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to like 35 miles an hour. So the pass game, the kick game is going to be a bit rough. We all know midweek action is usually a bunch of points. I'm not sure how it's going to play out here with the weather, but normally I'd be all over the over. But that being said, with that, Joe Labs is out, which I think will actually help them because he's a pocket passer, and Tyler Jefferson, like Kyle said, is a 3rd-string quarterback. But he comes into this one, he's a dual threat quarterback, which I think will help the offense in these conditions. So he's headed. Connor Bazelak's a solid quarterback for Bowling Green. Normally he'd be able to pick apart this Chippewa's defense. But yeah, with Tyler Jefferson coming in, they're already averaging 184 yards rushing a game. It's the 4th best in the conference. It's the one thing they're able to do well. I think they'll be able to run on this Bowling Green defense. The people who are saying that this weather game is going to make a Central Michigan team one-dimensional, I mean, newsflash, they already are one-dimensional.
They already
are. So, if anything, this is going to make Bowling Green more one-dimensional. So I think Jefferson just has a week to prepare after being thrown into the game last week. So I do like Central Michigan here, especially because it got a key point of 14. So I would take Central Michigan.
Someone asked if I'm also doing NBA picks today. I can guarantee you I will not be taking a single loss in the NBA tonight. Guaranteed.
Undefeated.
Never before guaranteeing that. I'm guaranteeing 0 losses in the NBA tonight. I'm joking. There are no NBA games tonight. And Andy, Scoop, listen to this. This is what Andy tried telling me earlier. Because you said 99% chance of rain, which is what I said. Andy said that is not 99. When you look at the weather report and it says 99%, that is not 99% chance of rain. That's 99% of that location covered in rain. And I think he's making that up.
I'm not a meteorologist. I'm
neither is Andy.
I'm not either, but
so you seem pretty sure of yourself when you were telling me this
because I am.
I always thought percentage chance of rain is how much the rain is going to fall on you.
Me too.
Okay.
So tell us how it works, meteorologist Andy.
Well, I'm just saying the 99% means 99% of that area is going to be covered in rain, but whatever.
That doesn't make sense.
For this game, I really wanted to take Bowling Green, and I'll be honest, I really want to take them badly, but this matchup doesn't set up well for them if the weather's going to be crappy, and that's just kind of how you're going to have to look at these Maction games. I mean, their weather is very bad in these areas around this time, so you have to put that into perspective and look at that when you're betting these games. Unfortunately, that screws Bowling Green tonight. I really like this team. I think this team can win this conference, but I have to go with Central Michigan. They cannot. One thing that has a little bit overstated for this team is the numbers look really, really good for Bowling Green's passing attack in comparison to the rush attack, but it's been inconsistent. In MAC play, Connor Bazelak has not been particularly great. A lot of his numbers are on Old Dominion before they had changed their quarterback and before that team was really playing well.
Defense is always the defense though. They deserve some credit defensively.
Well, he juiced the numbers in that game, the Akron game, Kent State game. I mean, those two teams are awful.
Yeah.
Then in the Toledo game, he struggled. In Northern Illinois, they couldn't throw the ball at all. They didn't even throw for 100 yards. Obviously, they had to play Penn State and A&M. So what do you expect there? But yeah, he juiced those numbers and so against some really bad teams. So he's been inconsistent all year. So I really don't like the way that offense is run. Even with Harold Fanning, who's one of the best tight ends in the country, they haven't been consistent enough for me to like them, especially laying 2 touchdowns on the road and now in the rain. That's the main thing they want to do. So it just does not set up well for Bowling Green at all. So I have to be on Central Michigan, even though I'm probably one of the bigger Bowling Green fans that are talking college football right now.
Yeah, I mean, Bowling Green's official. If this game was being played indoors, I would like 21. Like, they're way better than Central Michigan. And according to the comments, Andy's correct.
I gotta admit, I wasn't listening to anything that Andy said because I'm on almanac.com and I'm reading all about chances of rain right now.
Is he right?
I don't know.
Everybody's saying I am.
There's a meteorologist graduate in the comments who says he's very right.
I don't understand. So it's the percentage is on the ground. Like, isn't if it's sunny, does that still mean it's 99% chance of rain?
No, that means okay. So say you're looking at the weather for Manhattan, and it's saying 80%. That means at 7 p.m. If you're in Manhattan, 80% of Manhattan is going to be experiencing rain, which I think is stupid. But I mean, someone's saying Andy
What's the barometric pressure in the game?
Yeah, can we get the pressure numbers up, please? I'm not placing a bet until I see some fucking pressure numbers. So someone says Andy is 99% correct about the weather.
You know what? I hope it rains for all of you. Every single one of you in the comments for agreeing with Andy.
So basically, the entire township of Mount Pleasant, Michigan, could be raining except for the 1%.
The 1% over the stadium.
Over the football field. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm glad I learned things today.
It's like the eye of the storm, kind of.
Right. Someone said stick to football. I've been more right on weather than I have on football this year, dude. I don't know if you've been looking at my results exactly.
Stick to football.
So the football hasn't been going great.
I remember. I watched Twisters, so I understand the eye.
Great movie.
Stick to football, Andy. Enough of this weather shit. Next up. Miami, Ball State, and this is another one where we have to have the same
99% chance of rain here.
Yeah, but correct me if I'm wrong, this one's in Indiana, and I believe the rain isn't supposed to start till halftime.
It's supposed to be windy more than rainy there.
And meteorologist, Andy.
What does
I
wind
didn't look.
mean exactly?
Look, I don't want to bet Ball State in this game at all. So even if it could be a twister, it could be anything. I'm on Miami of Ohio.
Aren't you a little worried that Ball State's playing their best football right now? Like in the last 4 games, I think if you look at Ball State's season-long numbers, I talked about this in the video. If you look at Ball State's season-long numbers, they look like one of the worst teams in the country. And if you just isolate the last 4 games, no question, they're playing much better. They're still a bad team, but if you look at their overall year ratings, it's like 130th offensively, efficiency-wise, and like 131st defensively. And if you isolate the last 4 games, they're more in like the 95th to 105th range. So I feel like they might be getting priced as if they're one of the worst teams in college football, even though they might not be. That being said, you can kind of say the same thing about Miami of Ohio, who seems to be rounding into form. I mean, they got off to a slow start, partially because Miami of Ohio schedules the most wild schedule. I mean, like they're like Notre Dame. Who else do they play early on?
Northwestern, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, then they had UMass.
Yeah, they load their schedule up with Power 4 opponents, Miami of Ohio. So 5 weeks into the season, we were like, wow, this Miami of Ohio team's a little disappointing. They played a lot of Power 4 opponents. Last 3 games, they're averaging 38 points per game. Gabbert looks like he's finding his groove, throwing the ball. They're also running the ball a little bit. Defense is looking as elite as it was last year. So Miami of Ohio is looking like the conference champion Miami of Ohio that we saw last year. So even though I do think that Ball State is better than their numbers indicate, is a little bit better than their year-long numbers, I think this Miami of Ohio team might be just rolling right now. What I just said on YouTube was Miami of Ohio first half -6.5 because I looked at the weather app and it was supposed to be shitty at 9 p.m., which is about halftime. So I thought like, hey, get in and get out. I didn't actually place a bet on the game because if it's shitty weather, here's the thing though. In the other game, shitty weather helps Central Michigan because they have a dual threat quarterback, not much of a passing attack. In this game, I think shitty weather doesn't really mean because Ball State also wants to throw the ball with Samanza.
Yeah, it hurts them both.
Yeah, so if shitty weather doesn't necessarily help Ball State here. In fact, Ball State, if they're forced to have to run the ball at Miami of Ohio, they might be dicked. Like, I don't know how they're going to move the ball if they can't throw it. That Ball State wants to throw the ball with Samanza, so I don't necessarily think bad weather favors the home team here at all. So yeah, I guess Miami of Ohio first half, Miami of Ohio team total over somewhere in that range, but I didn't actually place the bet. Scoop.
Yeah, so like kind of what you said, same conditions, just really bad wind more. With this one, I like Miami. It just affects Ball State more than Miami. Miami's hit their stride recently. They won their last 3, 114-41, and just blew out who we were just talking about, Central Michigan. I mean, Ball State, I hear that, they're doing better. Obviously, they're, last couple games, but they're still 131st in defense, and Miami already has an extremely solid run game. Mosley's constantly going over 100 yards a game. Ball State defense is 123rd in EPA per rush. Brett Gabbert's been okay for Miami, especially during that 114 to 41 point streak. He actually hasn't thrown any picks, which is great for him. 8 touchdowns to 0. But I don't think he'd throw much here anyway. Ball State did have that big win over Northern Illinois last week, and Samanza had a great pass game, but that pass game I don't think is going to happen here. 1 for the weather, 2 because Miami has one of the best defenses in the MAC. Not only that, but the reason they ultimately beat Northern Illinois is a turnover battle. They were +4 in that game, but Miami won't be giving the ball a lot here. Ball State's just a really bad team, I think. Besides that Northern Illinois win last week, they only beat Kennesaw. They have a terrible offense. They're second to last in yards per play. They really have no run game that'll take advantage of this weather, and Miami's just going to shut that down anyway. I think Miami pretty much easily wins here. The good thing for them, it is 19 miles an hour, 19 miles visibility. UV index is 1, which is low, and there's 29.79 barometric pressure, so that might help.
Oh, wait, 29.79?
Yeah.
No, I disagree with you saying this Ball State's just. I think that Ball State isn't that bad. In fact, I think they could be.
I would go under too. By the way, I feel like an under is a good bet.
Yeah,
I mean, with the weather situation, I was leaning under in both games, but these matchup games are nuts. Yeah. No. By the way, Ball State, I could see them going on the road and beating Buffalo next week outright. So I don't think they're necessarily as bad.
I think Buffalo's put together a better season than I think anybody thought they were going
Well,
to.
you hated on Buffalo hard in the offseason.
Awful.
Oh, Tinker, does Betting League start today? I forgot to post it. This last couple of days have been crazy. We'll start the league tomorrow, Tinker. So we'll just start the league on Wednesday because I forgot to post it. And it's too late. If I post it now, it doesn't give enough people time to get in. So we'll start it tomorrow for this week.
Buffalo has 5 wins.
Do we want to do a community top bet? Let's see. Who won the first poll? Central Michigan plus 14. So let's just do a prop. You run a poll. Miami of Ohio minus 11.5. Central Michigan plus 14. Let's see what their favorite bet is tonight.
Just really quick. So college basketball. It was 3-0 to start the season. Obviously, we didn't talk about any of those on the show last night because you got to
just in the 5 biggest games.
You got to.
We all got trounced on them except.
No, I went 3-2.
Oh, you did. Oh,
yeah,
you went Memphis. That's why. Man.
Yeah,
I hit UCF. What's up?
Yeah, that was good.
But no, so yeah, I was 3-0 yesterday. If you want the picks, go on the actual site. But I'll give it today. Rice -6. I know it's super public heavy, but there's no way I could trust FIU at all. They brought back their coach. I don't know why. They were 307th in scoring defense, field goal percentage, rebounds, 3-point defense. They have no defense whatsoever. They're 1-12 on the road. Their only win on the road was Houston Christian. So, I'm going to take Rice here -6. I know they just have a new coach too, and they rebuilt, but there's no way I'm taking an FIU team on the road.
He said they brought back their coach. I don't know why. Andy, what's your college basketball bet?
Later tonight, late night, I think it's like a 10:30 start. Washington hosts UC Davis. They are 15.5-point favorites. It's similar to how I felt about USC Chattanooga last night. USC was hosting Chattanooga, and I was gun shy. I was going to post it. I didn't bet it, and I waited, and the line wound up at like 13.5, and I was like, USC only 13.5 points against Chattanooga? That's impossible. They're going to crush them. Well, they won that game by 30, so I felt really angry that I didn't bet that one. I'm not missing on this line either. This Washington team upgraded significantly. They brought in one of the top transfers this year. Again, let me get his name. Ozabor, I think I'm saying that right. They paid him like $3 million in NIL. This team's supposed to be very talented. It's an expensive team. I do worry about teams like that meshing, but with USC doing it that last night and a lot of teams that were just put together look really good, like transfers coming in and meshing well, it seems to be working. So I have Washington -15.5. I expect them to trounce UC Davis. So I think this is going to be a very big, an ugly one for them.
Someone said Gonzaga -6. Did they talk about yesterday, or is it one of those tournaments where they
I think they hit. They only win by like 41.
Oh, he's posting his results from yesterday. I see. I thought he was giving out bets for tonight. Okay. So the community top bet is Miami of Ohio -11.5. So the community likes the Red Hawks. Can't say I disagree. I would say if the weather's shitty, I probably wouldn't want to be on it, but I agree on that side. The only bet I have placed is Central Michigan plus 14. Again, bet these games responsibly, man. These MAC games are crazy, so please be conservative.
College football is crazy.
Yeah, college football in general is pretty crazy. But yeah, these MAC games especially are nuts. And I mean, like, things will make no sense. Like, a team that is averaging 2.1 yards per carry will go up against the best run defense in the country and rush for 320 yards. Like, just like shit where you're like, well,
Kent State, they're for almost 400 yards against Ball State.
Yeah, like, what? All right, thanks everyone for watching. I'll be uploading a video later for tomorrow's MAC games. And yeah, we'll be back same time tomorrow. We'll be doing NBA, college basketball. A lot more to go through tomorrow. Today's just like a slow day. Yeah. Have a good one. Later, guys.
Stay good. Yeah.